You know, when I started Facebook in 2004, I never imagined it would become what it is today. But one thing I've learned over the years is that success doesn't come from never failing. It comes from how you handle those failures and how quickly you learn from them. In the early days, Facebook wasn't the global phenomenon it is now. It was just a social platform for Harvard students, and even that almost didn't work out. But every failure was an opportunity to pivot, to grow, and to make the product better. One of the key lessons I've learned is the importance of failing fast. When you fail quickly, you can learn faster and adjust your course without wasting time on the wrong path. The truth is, when we first launched Facebook, it wasn't the perfect social network. It didn't have all the features people would come to love, and it wasn't yet a platform for the world. But we didn't let that stop us. Instead of dwelling on what wasn't working, we focused on making it better, faster. We started at Harvard, then expanded to other colleges. Each expansion came with new challenges, and it's easy to see those challenges as failures. But the reality is, they were just steps in the process of building something great. We learned so much from the first mistakes we made that we quickly adapted to what people needed and wanted. When we started Facebook, I had a simple idea, a place where people could connect and share experiences. But when we saw how people were using the platform, it quickly became clear that the vision had to evolve. We needed more than just profiles and friend connections. We needed to create a community that felt alive, that had news, interests, and content that was constantly updated and changing. So we pivoted. We introduced the newsfeed, but we didn't get it right the first time. A lot of people hated it. A lot of people said it was a bad idea. But instead of abandoning it, we saw it as an opportunity to listen and learn. We kept iterating, improving the product until it became the center of people's experiences on Facebook. I've always believed that if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. It's something I've seen again and again in my journey. We launched the like button, and there were failures in how people used it, how brands adapted to it, and how we could make the experience better. We failed many times, but we learned each time and improved the system. There's no such thing as a perfect product or a perfect launch. There will always be flaws, and there will always be issues to solve. The key is to fix those problems fast and to never get too attached to the idea that your first attempt is going to be the final one. One of the best examples of this was when we made the decision to acquire Instagram. Instagram was a small app at the time, but we saw potential. We took a risk, and many people didn't understand it. Some even questioned why we would buy a platform with no direct revenue model. But we didn't just acquire it, we let the Instagram team continue to innovate. We didn't stifle their creativity, and we saw how the decision paid off. The acquisition wasn't just a business move, it was a commitment to growth, to expanding what Facebook could become. Over time, Instagram grew to be one of the most powerful platforms in the world, driving billions in revenue. But more importantly, it reinforced the idea that being open to change, being willing to fail fast, and trusting the process would lead to unexpected success. When you're building something new, you need to be adaptable. The tech world moves fast. If you stand still, you'll get left behind. But if you're constantly iterating, testing, and learning from the failures, you'll continue to build something better than you ever imagined. And that's exactly what happened with Facebook. From the start, we didn't just create a social network. We created a platform. We built it to scale. We started with just one college, then expanded to others, and then to the entire world. With every step, we adapted, learned, and grew. We had to pivot multiple times along the way, but every pivot made us stronger. There were times when people didn't believe in our vision, when we were criticized for our moves, and when the road ahead was uncertain. But we kept moving forward. We made mistakes, but we didn't let those mistakes define us. We embraced them, we learned from them, and we got better. One of the most important decisions we made was to focus on the long term. It's easy to get distracted by short-term goals or immediate success, but the real work comes when you look to the future and commit to doing whatever it takes to get there. Facebook's success didn't happen overnight. It took years of persistence, and it took a willingness to fail and fail fast. It took an openness to change and to new ideas. But ultimately, the lesson here is simple. Success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about embracing failure as a part of the process. It's about learning from each mistake, adapting, and using that knowledge to get closer to your goal. I've been asked countless times about the secret to success, and I'll tell you, it's not about being perfect. It's about being adaptable. It's about learning, growing, and always pushing forward. Failure isn't a roadblock. It's a stepping stone to success. So don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to take risks. Keep moving forward, learn from each mistake, and keep iterating. And remember, when you fail fast, you're just one step closer to achieving something great.